Hey everybody, it's Rizwan, a full-stack developer with 5 years of experience, and today I want to share with you how I manage infrastructure for the main API of Increaser app. It uses DynamoDB to store the data and sends emails with AWS SES. I use Terraform for infrastructure management, and I think this setup is pretty common, so you could definitely find some interesting bits for your project. Let's jump in. Let's start with DynamoDB. Here I create two resources. So the first one is for users table and the second one for features tables. I use this variable called table prefix. So in this case, it would be Pomodoro lowercase slash users. And billing mode is pay per request. Hash k is ID for user and ID for features. And then attribute for ID. And also for the features table, I have a Lambda that subscribes for events. And here I enable stream and set stream view type. So when something happens, there's another Lambda that uses output from this configuration, and then it gets triggered on changes of this table. Then I have AIM file with configuration for roles and policies. So the first step is to take ARN of a table that created in another Terraform model. It's called task runner. So there is a separate DynamoDB table with tasks. And by using this statement, I could access the remote state from the S3 bucket. First, we assume role to obtain those temporary API credentials. Then we have the policy itself. Here we have repeating statement, but for different tables. So here is users table, features table, and then the table from the remote state. Also, we have a statement for accessing CloudWatch logs. And finally, one for sending emails. We end everything with attaching this policy to this role. In order to provide access to the API of the given Lambda, I use AWS API Gateway. So first we create this container, and as you can see, I always use this var name. So in this case, it is the name of the API. So let's say it's main API. So every resource would be cf dash main API. Then we create proxy resource API gateway method and integration with AWS Lambda. And the proxy resource cannot match an empty path, so we need to repeat the same two resources for the root. Afterward, I use this module from the GitHub to enable cores. Afterward, we have deployment, and also because it's an API with a proper domain name, I use a remote state with certificates, and I create a gateway domain name. So in this case, it would be api.increaser.org, and I use this certificate ARN Virginia star. So it would be, so I have certificate for every name, subdomain for increaser.org. Then we access also remote state with global route and set up Route 53 record to provide the access to this API gateway. Finally, the Lambda itself. First, we declare remote state. So everything that we create here would be stored on AWS S3. So we specify the bucket, key, and region. Then we create a bucket for a given Lambda. And we create our archive file with mock Lambda that doesn't work, so that Terraform won't crash. It will create everything, but Lambda wouldn't do anything. And afterward, we can deploy our own Lambda. So in this case, we create lambda.zip, and here we have Lambda, src, and you can see here that it returns hello from AWS Lambda. And Afterward, we also create a bucket object, and because we set up everything with Terraform, if you want to destroy everything, it will also destroy the only file that is inside of this S3 bucket, this zipped Lambda, and everything will work fine. For the Lambda resource, we specify function name, S3 bucket, S3K, and memory size. By default, it would be a bit small, but I found out that this memory size kind of works the best. Then pass to the handler. So in this case, we have src folder, the same as here, and in the Lambda file, we have a handler function. The latest runtime is Node.js 14. We set timeout and attach the role. Finally, we give permission for a API gateway to call the Lambda, and we set the statement. Action is Lambda invoke function, function name, principal, and the source arn. Here we use region and current account ID when we build this this source ARN. So that's it. I hope you found some interesting bit. Stay productive.